Hello everyone, and welcome to the very first official episode of the Last Resort podcast. The thing you listen to when the internet has nothing better to offer. Intro done, now where do we go from here? Doctor Who, you go, what did you think?
What did you think about the episode of Doctor Who, huh?
It was good, I liked it.
It was hella, I really liked it. I really liked just everything, the TARDIS and everything.
That TARDIS reveal.
I really love the TARDIS.
Yeah, the way, so I really like the moment where the TARDIS sounds start coming in and you can see Jodie's face just going, oh my god, this is going to happen. And then I think that they really deserved a moment of her like almost hugging the TARDIS where she was like, I've missed you so much.
Oh yeah, and then like from the outside you could tell that the TARDIS had had an upgrade. I really loved that.
Oh, you've done yourself up.
I love the way they do that. Every time there's a new regeneration, there's a new TARDIS. So much.
and like the way that the TARDIS subtly matches the sonic screwdriver. Just.
Oh no, yeah. I love just the whole thing. It just looks so smooth throughout the whole thing. It looks really good.
Yeah. And like the console table looks just so crowded and full of levers, which reminds me of Tennant's TARDIS a lot. Just like and the sand timer she turned over, just the quirky kind of objects.
Oh, I really loved that bit.
And then the custard cream that came out.
And then the custard cream, I loved that. The way she thought she was pressing something to make the TARDIS go, and then she just gets like custard cream.
The TARDIS knows the Doctor too well. Oh god. And did you notice, as there was a moment that just made me really happy, where you'll be confused for a second, where Graham goes, like the Stenza killed my wife, yeah, and then Storm, or whatever her name is, went mine too.
Yeah.
You noticed that? That made me really happy. I was like, representation.
I was just, I love the way they did that, and it was just like nothing.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah.
That was good. That was a good go on that their part.
It was like completely smooth and wasn't. They didn't make a big deal out of it like they've done before.
I love it. It was so good. I really love Jodie as the Doctor.
Yeah.
Just so much.
She works for.
Just I don't know. I just really like her.
There's like something about her energy and the way that she commands the whole thing. And no, go on.
Sorry, go on.
No, you go on.
I didn't watch. I watched like one episode of Capaldi, and I didn't get the right vibe from him, so I just didn't watch him.
Yeah.
But I really like Jodie. I think she really fits the role really well.
Yeah. And I also really like the just so the first 3 minutes or 5 minutes of that episode when they were just crashing was really good. And there was at one point where one shot of the ship that Jodie and Yasmin were in with the guy, there was like a shot of that lasted about a minute and a half, just moving around and stuff happened. And watching that, I was like, when's it going to cut? When are they going to stop doing it? But it kept on going. It was really good. But, yeah. I found a little bit that the story of Epso and Angstrom was kind of. I was like, it seemed really realistic, but it seemed a little bit forced through, if that makes sense.
Just to like keep it going, the whole.
But it seemed very much like something that could happen, and it seemed bluntly real, despite the fact that blunt realism kind of made it less of an exciting Doctor Who story. I think it works for the whole thing of they need to get back to the TARDIS.
Yeah, no. But the only thing I didn't like about like the storyline of this episode was the fact that the guy so quickly was like, yeah, let's do this joint win. So it was like a kind of like, let's do it, and he was like, let's do it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think he probably could have done. I don't know that it's like condense it to like a certain time, but I feel like he wouldn't have just said yes.
I think that both with this and The Woman Who Fell to Earth, there are points where the pacing goes quite quick and things happen quite quickly just because they've got such a short amount of time.
Yeah,
So
no, I think that'll probably it'll probably slow down a bit when the flow of things go
yeah,
again, and when the doctor doesn't have to explain every little thing
mm,
because they're not new. Because when the assistants they get used to it, the doctor explains less.
yeah, but
I think it happens a lot at the start of the seasons.
yeah, that is true. But I feel almost like these two stories that they've done so far could just be like 90-minute long movies. That could,
God,
you
yeah.
know, they've got that much stuff in them that they could expand and feed out and make it really. But I think that they did a good job of what they did.
I agree.
But yeah,
I really love it, and I love the way that I don't have to watch any Capaldi to get it.
yeah, yeah. They're gonna get a lot of new and old people returning to the series.
How long's Capaldi been Doctor?
I
Few
can
years,
look it
I
up.
guess.
When did Peter Capaldi take over as Doctor Who? He took over in 2013. That's
Oh,
5 years ago.
kidding!
Yeah, August 2013.
2013, you're kidding!
And then he left last year in 17. So he was it for 4 years, which is
4 years.
about average for doctors. He did 3 series.
That's insane.
I think he did 3.
Average except
Well, New Who
Eccleston.
and Eccleston was like, I'll do a season then I'll leave. Thanks, guys. But that meant we got
I did
10,
like Eccleston
so
though.
we can live with that.
Yeah. Well, I liked Eccleston,
Hmm.
but he seems a bit overshadowed by Tennant after him.
Yeah, it was very much like Tennant jumped straight into his shoes and just kept on running. There, there wasn't much of a. But I think that kind of works because if they had stopped, it would have been awkward, and But but this series is the first time that I really clung on to Doctor Who since Tennant left. Because when Smith came along after Tennant, I was still mourning Tennant, and I just couldn't get with this new Doctor. But now it's yes, we want someone new. It's really good.
Well, I feel like Matt Smith was very because I felt when the new series or whatever, when Eccleston became Doctor, it became very much of almost a kids show.
Yeah.
Almost, not quite, but almost.
It,
and I think when Tennant came in, it came more of like Doctor Who. And then I think when Matt Smith became Doctor Who, it came more of like a kids show.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a kids show. It's obviously not a kids show, but it became like that. I think after Eccleston, and then
it got a bit
Tennant
more
made it more into Doctor Who. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, I was rewatching the Smith era, which I've done recently. I'm thinking this is actually kind of really good, but I don't think. But I grew up with the Tennant era where the sidekicks had these families, and it was kind of half grounded on Earth, and there was all of this weight to it behind it.
Yeah.
But then with the Smith era, it's more like grab Amy, grab Rory, let's go off. But I love the way that in Tennant's era, the sidekicks were constantly thinking about their families like people do and calling home, and Martha had her divorced parents, and Donna had her granddad. Martha was so
Martha
good.
And that section of sidekicks, I love that
that trio
of Donna and Rose and oh god, I loved Rose so much. I want to see a spin-off or just a mini episode showing how the Doctor and Rose are in that other dimension.
Yeah.
Because I miss it so much. I miss Rose so much.
Even just a kind of fake children in need kind of comedy thing. Just to have them walking around Morrison's or something. Just buying food.
So good. I still have on the background of my PC, the lock screen on it is Doctor and Rose kissing. I love it.
Really?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah.
As one thing that I have found is a lot of people don't like Martha because she came in after Rose. A lot of people are like, her only thing to her was the fact that she liked the Doctor and he didn't like her back. But I really, really liked that storyline, and I love the way that it peaked to her exit at the end of series 3, where she was like, "This is me getting out." and it's just like that. That really got me, that moment where she just leaves, and it's like, yes, you're this brilliant alien with all this power, but I'm a human and my feelings are just as important, so I'm going to go because I need to satisfy my feelings more than I need to go and explore space. And I think that she was really human, Martha, which I
Yes,
liked.
I like that. I like that, and then I liked the fact that then we had Donna, who was very. I'm really not in love because we had like this chunk of I'm in
3
love with the Doctor,
series of loving the Doctor,
and then what Donna was like, no,
no,
like
we're not
don't
going.
even touch me, mate.
Don't mate with me, thank you very much.
Yeah,
That was
all I
it.
want is a mate. I'm not being your mate.
Yeah,
I
just want a mate, Why, you're not making a mate with me, thank you very much. Oh, she was so. And then the way that like they played on that through that series with like Doctor and Mrs. Noble constantly doing that. It was like,
I loved Dr. Donna.
But then Donna's face at the end was just tragic. The way that she had to forget it all, and then.
I know.
Sad.
It's really sad.
Why do they always
I'm just
end
gonna
it on a
cry
sad
now.
End the podcast. I need to cry in a corner.
What I do like about Matt Smith's thing is how like complex it was.
Yeah.
With like River Song.
Oh, I loved River Song though.
Because if you think about it, because Amy was
River's mother.
River's mum.
Yeah.
When Amy was pregnant.
Yeah.
And if Doctor was with Amy and Rory, sat on like this bench or whatever. I saw a picture the other day, and they were like, I'm not sure what like, because he was like talking about how like magnificent this bench was, or whatever. And then it was like, I don't know what's weirder about this picture is about this 100-year-old man has nothing better to say than how magnificent this bench is, or that he's sat next to his unborn wife with his mother-in-law.
It got kind of, and it gets more creepy when you think Amy tried to kissed and tried it on with the Doctor, and then a couple of series later it's like,
I do love that it's like that though.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's kind of like, I don't know, because when Amy tried to kiss the Doctor was very like, no.
Yeah, no, get away from it, no. I really Smith only was obsessed with River. Well, not obsessed, but that was his only love interest, which was quite good. But and that kind of made sense because she was a psychopath designed to kill him. And I feel like if the Doctor's going to fall for anyone, it would be a psychopath designed to kill him.
Yeah.
So
I think it's perfect.
Yeah. Anyway, that's a lot of Doctor Who talk.
That is a lot of Doctor Who talk.
We really satisfied Doctor Who talk.
We're gonna have to put a spoiler warning at the start of this episode.
Oh, what? Yeah.
For like all of Doctor Who.
By the way, everyone, don't listen to this if you've not seen the Ghost Monument yet. They all die at the end.
Or if you haven't seen any of Doctor Who yet.
just spoiled all of New Who for everyone planning on going back and watching it.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry. Apologies.
Yeah.
We didn't mean to.
I mean, if you've listened for how long we've been talking, 14 minutes, then you probably
realised what was going on.
Spoiled it for yourself.
Yeah. But anyway, we need segments. Well, not segments, but we need to build this podcast into something marvellous.
I agree with this.
Yes. So we've been planning. My mind's gone blank on the things that we were planning to talk about now.
Do you think about what you were going to talk about, like your section?
Oh no, so I've still not really thought about that much, which is kind of bad.
Okay.
But I feel like my section should be procrastination, because I do that a lot. It's like this whole weekend has just been me procrastinating, but constantly trying to think. I know I'm not procrastinating. I'm just playing Minecraft instead of doing work. But yeah, I mean, I kind of procrastinate a lot. But have you thought about your section and decided yet? Because I know you had ideas.
Yeah, I think I was going to do. I'm probably going to have a conspiracy theories because there's so many.
Yes, that would be really good. You should definitely do that.
Agreed.
I feel like it would suit you quite well to the conspiracy theory section.
I love conspiracy theories. It's my favourite thing.
Favourite thing on the planet. Top of your personal statement. I love conspiracy theories.
let me into university and I will research all of the conspiracy
I
theories.
would begin the conspiracy theory society, and it would be glorious. But no one will be sure if it exists or not. It might just be a conspiracy.
it'll be a conspiracy theory. Yeah.
Oh god.
I have one of my favourites though is the Mandela effect. Yeah, the Mandela effect.
I do, but all of the boys and girls listening to this might not. All the hundreds of thousands of people. So why don't you tell them?
The Mandela effect is the conspiracy theory. It's actually pretty believable. The reasons for it aren't so believable, but the whole thing about it is pretty believable. It's basically the idea that when a group of people think something is one way or something happened in a specific way, but it's not and it never has been. For example, when Nelson Mandela died, he died in 2013, but like a very, very large amount of people remember him dying when he was in prison in 1980s. And so therefore that's how it started. So
hence
that's
the
what's
name
Mandela effect. Yes, hence the name Mandela effect. I think the most well known, if you've heard about the Mandela effect, you've probably heard about the Barnstein bears.
About the what?
The Barnstein bears.
Barnstein.
Yeah, so it's like an American TV show or book or whatever, like a kids show or whatever. Or the books, and I think they were a TV show as well. And everybody remembers them being the Barnstein bears. So Berestein. But they've always been Stain, so the Barnstein bears. And I think there was someone on Reddit or something, or I don't know, 4chan or whatever. He found a really old VHS tape with it spelling it with an E instead of an A.
Oh.
So,
and that's what caused it.
Well, no, because everybody remembers it being Barnstein.
Yeah.
Just full stop. But it never was. I think
was.
Like the odd one is like spelt wrong now and then, but it is weird. And I think the most well-known one I think would be the Star Wars one.
Oh, with Luke, yeah.
Luke, I am your father. It's not Luke, I am my father. It's Luke. No, I am your father. Yeah.
I need to rewatch Star Wars because I've not seen that film since I was told that.
It is. There's loads of them. Like Sex in the City is not Sex in the City. Sex and the City. And then Forrest Gump doesn't say life is like a box of chocolates. It was life was like a box of chocolates.
It's amazing how easy
the Monopoly Man doesn't have a monocle.
But so people tell me that one like all the time, and well, of course he doesn't have a monocle. Who thinks he has a monocle?
I thought he had a monocle.
I never thought he had a monocle.
Oh yeah, and then at the end of sorry, I'm reading an article. At the end of
what on like conspiracy theories?
Oh no, on Mandela effect.
Oh okay.
I looked it up. What it is.
Yeah.
At the end of We Are the Champions by Queen.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The last line, he goes, "We are the champions," and then everybody would go, "Of the world," but he doesn't say "of the world." He goes, "We are the champions."
Like half of the room awkwardly sings an extra line that isn't actually there.
Yeah.
And then there's like a couple of smug people like, "I'm not falling for this."
And this is one that I didn't know was one until very recently. It freaked me the hell out. The Mona Lisa is known to have like no smile. She's like grumpy. Yeah. She has like a little smirk.
Yeah, she does. Like a little like. Because
I've seen her in like person. I didn't know that.
You've seen Mona Lisa in person?
Yeah, the person.
God.
No.
Your time traveller, like the Doctor, you went back and were there when she's been painted. I've got a photo of her up now. Oh yeah, she's got like kind of like dimples at the ends of her lips, just pulled back.
Yeah, it's that one freaked me out a little bit. And then Kit Kat doesn't have a dash between Kit and Kat.
I'm just googling what you think. Kit Kat.
Yeah, you should probably.
I've got to make
Google
sure you won't
them.
lie to me about these.
Some of them are. And then
Kit Kat should put not a dash between it, but like a finger of Kit Kat, like a tiny one, like Kit Kat.
yeah.
Good branding.
What else?
There's got to be loads.
There is. You know the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
You do you know how many people were in the car?
No, I didn't even know what happened in the car until now. That's how culturally unaware I am about all
So
this.
John F. Kennedy
was assassinated.
He was assassinated in his car. He was doing. I don't know what he was doing.
I don't know what he was doing.
He was like he was doing like a tour.
Know.
He was doing like he was doing like a tour or something. He was saying hi to people. He was in this car, and there was 4 people in it. That's what people say. And because if you watch all like the recreations,
I've got photos.
but like if you do, it's like people do like whatever. They have like 4 people. There's actually 6.
Reenact it, but without the death.
We should do that. Let's reenact it.
We should
you know, Curious George, the monkey, doesn't have a tail.
Who's Curious? Wait, is Curious George of that old? Oh, he is. He's the guy in the man had the parasailer thing, the thing you fly on. The monkey with the man, Curious George. Sorry, I just had a flashback to childhood memories of TV.
I don't know.
It's
the okay, you know the movie Snow White movie. She never says mirror mirror on the wall. She says magic mirror on the wall.
Yeah, which I think sounds worse than mirror mirror on the wall. You've got to get some repetition.
This is one our friend Gabe would like be like duh. He gets really mad at this one. Pikachu's tail doesn't have a bit of black on the end.
Oh.
It's all yellow. Yeah.
I would Google Pikachu, but I don't know. I can't be asked to work out how to spell that word. I'm now just browsing through photos of JFK in a car.
How would you spell Gandhi?
G-H-A-N-D-I.
Well, yeah, that's what everybody thinks.
Wait, G?
But it's really G-A-N-D-H-I.
Oh my god.
The H isn't after the G, it's before the thing.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not going to read all of these because there's like 50.
No, we've given the viewers a good dose of.
But if you're interested, just search Mandela Effect. There's loads on it, and I think Shane Dawson did a whole bunch of them, and I think people talk about why it happens, and there's things like we switched over into different dimensions. It's like no, probably just people think it's one way or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the reason is, but it's interesting. It's really.
Well, this week's segment on conspiracy theories was the Mandela effect.
Do some research, it'll be great.
I personally can't wait for the one of flat earthers because I can imagine that getting really good and abusive.
Yeah, abusive. Yeah. What do you mean? The Earth is flat.
We've got to save it though. We've got to save it for the week.
We should find them. We should put it off until we can find somebody to interview.
If there's any flat earthers out there listening, get in touch via our Instagram.
Yeah, we'd love to.
Last Resort.
Yes.
13, I believe. Probably.
It might be the Last Resort. I don't know. Can't remember.
Oh, I'm on my.
Just type in Last Resort. Our logo's the same, the one that's on here or whatever, wherever you're listening to. It's like a rainbowy, but with LR in it.
It's the Last Resort 13, all one word.
There you go. Yep. That's Instagram.
Yeah.
And then, so just if you know of a flat earther or you are a flat earther,
yes.
Just message us. We'll set up a Skype call.
Yes. Or you can just join the Discord because Discord's better. Who likes Skype?
Yeah.
No one uses Skype.
Discord,
anymore.
Skype, whatever.
Because on Discord you can have a music bot, so we could play some music now, but then you wouldn't all be able to hear it, so that would be sad.
We're both wearing headphones.
Yes. The amount of so the Discord we have is called Dancing Queen after Theresa May dancing to Dancing Queen.
Oh god, that should be your segment this week talking about Theresa May.
Oh, okay. So Theresa, what I've got to tell you about Theresa May? Firstly,
Who
I don't actually
talk
know
about
that.
who Theresa May is?
Okay.
Because what if people in America don't know?
American. If you're American and know nothing about Britain, firstly, we aren't all really polite, but we do all say thank you when we hold the door open for someone else. Logic.
And then we say sorry if somebody else hits into us.
Yes,
That happens a lot.
yes, we do that all the time. But our lovely Prime Minister, Theresa May, is our Prime Minister. And I don't know, I don't know that much.
Wow.
Insightful, I know. I don't know that much about her, to be honest, like from a political point of view. And I'm not going to go, yes, I support her. I'm not going to go, no, I hate her, because I genuinely have no idea, and I really need to educate myself on it, to be honest. And I will do. And in one podcast, once I've educated, I will talk about Theresa May in more detail. But basically, she's recently developed this kind of craze of dancing in front of the media, and
It's so funny.
I would have thought that in this day of the internet should have worked. Maybe it's all just a brilliant campaign by the Conservatives to get loads of publicity for free on social media, because these videos go viral of her. It started off when she was visiting somewhere in Africa, I think, and she was dancing with children.
Kenya, I think it was.
Dancing with children just by like putting a foot forward. She literally did put your left leg in, your left leg out, in, out, etc. And then she walked onto a Conservative Party conference to the ABBA song Dancing Queen, which it's.
But she looks like a robot though. That's what makes it
She
funny.
does.
She dances like a robot.
She looks like a stiff kind of mannequin, just like, you know, like. And then there is so if you've not seen it, search Theresa May Dancing Queen, because there's a brilliant
So funny.
moment when she's dancing where she kind of starts doing, you know, like when you dance by like reaching up and grabbing. Yeah. So like she does that, but then she turns it into a wave halfway through. So like you think she's dancing and then she just waves at everyone, and it's absolutely brilliant. Just go and watch it. But I think that Theresa May, no matter if she's good or bad, she has brought us the best memes a Prime Minister has ever brought. And David Cameron, we got the pig memes with him, but I think she's topped it.
We should leave that for a whole other episode.
Yeah.
The David Cameron.
Conspiracy theory. What really happened?
What about talked about the field of wheat?
Oh yeah, the field of wheat. The field of wheat is brilliant. In a interview, so it was kind of a cruel question, but an interviewer asked Theresa May, "What is the worst thing you've ever done?" And of course, if she said something really bad, the press would go, "Oh my God, Theresa May took heroin when she was 30 or whatever." I don't know Theresa May.
I can imagine that happening.
I can imagine she still does, to be honest. But
yeah.
So
that would explain a lot.
she took probably the slightly safer option and said something not at all that bad. And she said, "Wow, when I was about 10 years old, we lived by a farm and there were all these fields of wheat, and the farmers got really angry whenever you went in them. And one day with my friends, I ran through this field of wheat without a care in the world." And people made a lot of memes and videos and edited it, and also searched that. If you've probably seen it, if you're British, you'll have seen it.
Yeah.
Who knows? You might.
But just search Theresa May field of wheat field. Yeah.
And there's some good comedy gold for you to go on to after you. Of course, after you finish listening to us witter on for another however long, because.
Sorry, just give me a second.
I'll give you a second. Shall I entertain the viewers? This is like a monologue, like when writers and actors especially. Oh, you're back.
Yes,
I was in the middle of a monologue. I was about to start discussing.
Sorry, I'll put my microphone
monologues and how difficult they are to act, and how I was going to do one spontaneously.
Addressing the audience. Yeah.
Yeah. Solo talking.
Sounds fun.
Sounds fun. Very much.
We're about to come up to half an hour. Should we stop? We should stop at half an hour, I guess.
Do you think?
Yeah.
You think? I guess.
I feel like
otherwise the file will get big. I'm sorry, everyone listening, but you know.
We're just gonna for now. We're gonna do half an hour.
I think anything like that. But a couple of things first. So next week we should begin our amazing 66 seconds to sell your subject segment.
Oh yeah.
Where we each research something to do with our school academic studies, and then present it to you all, because this needs to be academic so we can go on our personal statements and we can get into university. If there's anyone listening from universities, that's read our
Please let us
personal
into
statements
universities.
and seen this podcast, okay, we are really, really, really dedicated to this, and we want to make it good. And it's actually kind of surprising already how much work has had to go into it to make the logo, and to find the music, and to edit all of that stuff.
I thought we'd have nothing to talk about. This is great. We go for half an hour.
Yeah, I really, really thought that we'd get to a point where we were kind of struggling to talk, but Doctor Who filled a good 10 minutes.
And then also
Good.
Theresa May and the Mandela effect.
It kind of rambled on. But next week it can get more academic, and we can also do the current affairs news section where we talk about proper political things, not prime ministers dancing and running through loops.
We'll have like an actual debate as well as talking about conspiracy theories. And
don't worry,
running through fields of
university
wheat.
people, it will get a bit more factual than this. Are we about done, do you think?
Yeah. Should we say thanks for listening?
No, I really don't think we should. I think they should thank us, but I'm joking. Yeah, thank you for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in, and
See you next
we'll
week.
be doing this every Sunday. We'll be uploading the vast majority of Wednesdays.
Yeah, Wednesdays, I think. It's a couple of days later. So,
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for watching. See you next week. Listening.
listening. You made an error on the last line, Lucy. Do the whole thing again.
Do the whole thing again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
See you next week, guys.
Bye.